Hello and welcome to this very special announcement video. I thought about it and I kinda want to do this before I go to sleep. I just, I feel like I'd be able to sleep better if I actually just got this out of the way. And I couldn't think of what else to put on the screen, so I put on my Steam page. Also, that recent game activity is not actually indicative of how much I play, because most of that is for when I had multiple games up to get cards to sell during the past Steam sale. So there. But this is just generally about the channel, about me. There's something that I've been kind of wanting to say for a while, but it hasn't been until this past week that I feel like it would be best of me to actually say it. If you've probably noticed, my videos have been sporadic at best. That is because I get I get discouraged probably way too easily. Like, to me, I don't care if it's one person who actually enjoyed something, but if they enjoyed a video that I did, I'm like, okay, that's worth it. But I'm just, sometimes I don't actually feel the whole, thing of, I don't want to say I don't feel like people don't enjoy it, because I have views on it, so there's gonna be some people out there. Granted, not a lot, but it's good enough, and I feel good sharing games that I like that few other people have probably seen because they're so old and we're just kind of under the radar. But especially with the past week, how it's just been suddenly nothing after me pausing for a little while to assess Brutal Legend, and how I want to go about that with it messing up. It's just something that I've wanted to share me and who I am as a person, if that makes any sense. Currently, I am just kind of living at my dad's house because there is really no way for me to get a proper job that I could do. Due to medical reasons, I can't actually get a really intense physical labor job, so anything like, you know, heavy boxes at a grocery store, which would be a simple enough job to just have, I can't. The only job I did have, which was several months back, I either had to leave or punch the manager in the face because the manager was that horrible. And I'm the kind of person who'll actually go out of my way to guide like a little spider out of the house instead of squashing it because I'm that. I don't really like, hurting things unless they deserve it. So for me to want to actively punch someone in the face and actually have to actively stop myself from doing that, I had to get out of that place. But I do want to go to college, but all of our money is currently being put to keeping the house afloat. So it's just kind of like months. Basically, we're looking on how to get things settled and the money here so we're not just living on the edge. But it still kind of gets to me, and I do. It's kind of weird. Games are a nice escape, but recording them doesn't seem to be like it doesn't have the same effect for me. I kind of need to be in a good mood to actually feel like the recording would be worth it. And especially with the last week, some people might know, but it was actually my birthday on the 4th. And I live in America, as you can see by the little flag, so yay. But the only problem is that part of the reason I said my dad's house in Montana is because the rest of my family is all the way across this country in Massachusetts. And the problem is, they weren't really a great family, so I still. When holidays come around, I try and repress it the best I can, but I do kind of get down and depressed and all that stuff. Just thinking about, you know, not so much my family, but what could have been my family. Because you'd see all these things of like happy families and all that. And it's like me, and like I feel like I got the short end of the straw, and it's still, as much as I try and move on from it, it still is just kind of there in the back of my mind, and it's just like an itch that prevents me from properly enjoying the holidays. And I don't really like that, but at the same time, my birthday on top of 4th of July just it it drained me from wanting to really be very social, because you need to actually be talkative and have energy in your voice and in your tone while recording, and you can't really have that when you're feeling down. And it's just everything on top of that has really just sometimes gotten to me, where the point that I just couldn't get the oomph that I needed to record, and that's why some days have been random recording, and random not recording. I'll be entirely honest, some of these times that I've said were another reason were actually because of that, because I wasn't sure on how it would be taken. And therein lies the problem. I'm not really, like, that's why I'm only doing it now. I wasn't really sure if I should, but I feel like for both myself and you people who watch, it would be best if you actually just knew a little bit of the reasoning why, and just me in general, and why there are sometimes complications that seem to just kind of be random. It's just certain things in my life kind of distract me to the point that I can't properly actually do recording. And I don't like that, and I'm sure you don't like that if you actually like what I want, like what I put out. But I just felt like I should put it out there. Especially since there was probably some people who wished me a happy birthday and I didn't respond. It was because I was just like, can this day be over yet? Because it put me really down. There are still occasional times that I do that, because just I'm not really sure what I was trying to go there, but I'm like, what? Hang on. But just general, that's why. And if there are certain things that put me down in the future, I will try and make a point. No, I won't try. I will make a point on saying that that is the reason why, instead of trying to concoct a cheap, recording didn't work or YouTube screwed up reason. Although at least once or twice YouTube has not accepted my videos, and I have no idea why, but I just felt comfortable, much more comfortable putting that out there, because I don't really like to lie to begin with. So I just want to have kind of just clear the air on my absences and stuff. And it is. Wait, someone apparently moved the door and it scared me. Did I fully close my door? I have no idea. I can't see because it's dark. But it is 3 in the morning, and I promise you, I went to go close that. The team speak that I haven't actually closed because, uh, well, you get to see where I hang out in my spare time. But I am going to make a point of actually recording tomorrow and getting things back on track, because I like the stability of just recordings in my life. It actually, on top of it being nice, it just gives some stability of, some consistency of doing something instead of just lazing about doing nothing like I can. Like it's the only thing that I can. So yeah, things in a nutshell. Complications of me not feeling very well and not actually feeling up to par for a recording, and I just wanted to clear the air about that. Hope to see you next time. I'm going to try and go to sleep now. Till then, see ya.